and if it's meant to be, then it'll continue to be this way. And if not, then, you know, we'll take each day as it comes. But definitely living in LA, I've lived in LA, in Hollywood my entire life. I've seen all of this happen, never, ever, ever considered myself actually being involved in the industry, to be honest. And so now that it's happening, it's kind of very foreign to me, which is really unusual, a girl living in LA. But it's kind of effortless, I want to say, because we're also used to just going out and meeting people and talking. So a lot of producing has to do with communicating and, you know, meeting people and talking about it and finding common ground, and this is it. So I think I would enjoy doing this for a while.
I have a strong feeling that Michael will be calling you again.
Oh, definitely.
I hope.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, what was your best memory of making this film?
Oh, God. Okay. Where should I start even?
Well, yeah, there's so many dynamics. I mean, we had great moments even before we shot the film, and then even during, there were just some moments where the performances were just on, but I'll let Maria say hers. I don't know.
Honestly, this film, whoever gets to see it will realize that it is a very kind of dark setting throughout the entire film. And going into, I think first day of shooting was probably one of the most exciting times for me because I went to meet whoever I hadn't met and just kind of trying to get everything together. It's day one. You don't know what's going to happen, and you're just kind of holding your breath all day and trying to make everything work. And once we completed that day, I think there was this different air on set, and everyone kind of blended together really well. Somehow, you know, it wasn't planned. We were all strangers to begin with, and now we're all very good friends, and we kind of text each other. And the thing that I liked about this entire the filming time was that we had so many inside jokes, and we would just kind of feed off of each other's energy. And, you know, if someone wanted to put an idea in there just last minute, and it would just happen kind of. I think the best part of it was that overall everything flowed smoothly. Even if we were in panic mode and something would go wrong, it was kind of okay, you know? We felt support from everyone, and I feel as if everyone felt the same about us. So, God, exciting moments. Exciting moments for me were the way certain scenes played out, which I can't really talk about right now.
Right.
I think we can break that down after the movie is, you know, seen by people, and, you know, don't want to give away any spoilers.
Right.
I have some friends who don't even want to see the trailer because they're like, I want to watch the movie. I don't want to know what it's about, and this is how I do it. And I'm just sitting here and waiting for all this to happen.
And that's one of the hardest parts about doing an interview of a movie that you know is not out yet too, is trying to think of questions to not ask where you're going to have to say, oh, I can't answer that, or, you know, giving a little bit too much away, and that's why we have trailers.
Right.
Yep. Right.
Who put together the trailer? I mean, that was a phenomenal job.
Thank you. The DP of the project, Austin Nordell, I worked with on a previous film, and he's extremely talented, and he also edited it. And as a director, I always prefer my DPs, my cinematographers, to edit as well. So he really put it together. I gave him a lot of free range to say, hey, you know what I want, you know what my vision is, hit it. If something needs to be changed, I'll say it. But we really have a good professional relationship where he really understands my vision, my outlook, and all of that. And he technically was my right-hand man through all of the shooting and everything. And, again, very talented individual. I'm sure I'm going to be working with him in the future. But, yeah, I mean, I just told him, like, the trailer has to entice. It has to fascinate. I mean, the whole concept, this whole film, I mean, it just screamed people interested, suspense, wanting to know more, all of that, because there are twists and turns, and there are a lot of things that you are not going to see happen, and they do, and all of that. So, again, not going into too much detail, but it's not conventional. It is not your typical Hollywood film, that's for sure. So I really wanted the trailer to show that, because the trailer has a little bit of, it's a little provocative, it's a little disturbing, it's a little bit edgy, but I mean, it gets your adrenaline up, because at the end of it, you're like, wow, I want to see it. Or at least that's what I'm hoping people.
It does do that, and I have to say another thing it does, and it did for me at least, is, you know, with showing Trevor and what he's trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish with these different guys about the women, is you either want to see this movie to see him get his what for at the end, or see if he, you know, somebody gets to change him back to a decent human being. So that is what I got from it.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, he really is the type of character that you love to hate, and the interesting thing is that every time he's on screen, and I can say this, there's something magnetic about him. There's something that as almost evil, as disturbing as all of that there is, you can't get your eyes off of him. He has such a commanding presence, even though what he's saying is extremely messed up, extremely offensive, all of that. There's just something about him that you want to hear what he says next. He intrigues you.
Yep, and I can see that just from the trailer alone. So you really, really got it, Michael, I tell you. It's unbelievable.
I can't wait to see this movie.
Yeah, I know. Both of us have been talking about it. It's just amazing. And that's why I feel so strongly about, you know, promoting it, too, because it is such a great movie. You can tell it right off the bat. And, of course, because Maria helped out with it, too. Oh, you know what? I have another question for you, Maria.
Yes.
And I asked you on Facebook when I asked you while Michael's here, when are you going to get on Twitter? Michael, tell her it's not so bad.
I think someone's going to have to go and create it for me. Yeah. Mike, you know. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, as much of a social butterfly as I am, it's surprising that I don't have a Twitter account yet.
She'll make
one.
It's going to happen soon. I think it has to happen soon.
Yeah, well, with you guys hanging out so much, he can show you.
Sorry?
It's not that hard, so.
I know. Just another app on my phone, you know?
Right.
No,
well, I read in one of the... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I just said it'll happen soon, and we'll be tweeting.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll hold my breath on that one. Now, I read in one of the articles about this film that it points out you're going to get a backlash from feminists and women all around the world. How are you going to handle something like that?
You know, I knew even well before I shot the film, and basically right when we started, I knew that this film is not for everybody, and I knew that I probably would. I still think that I will have people that misconstrue that this film is, you know, a extremely misogynistic film instead of it being just a film about a misogynist, about a very twisted individual and everything. And you know, some of that's out of control. For the people who know me, for the people who appreciate my work and all of that, they will like this film, they will appreciate it and all of that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say everybody's going to like it, because that's not going to be true. It will offend people. This is a niche film. This is an underground film. It is not for everybody. It's not for the easily offended. It's not for the faint at heart. It's not a family film. I mean, I'll make one day, but it's not. You bring your kids, you break out the popcorn, and you enjoy it. It's not. It's almost just like a very interesting character study. It's almost as much a film to study as it is to try to enjoy as well. But The performances are there. I think the look's there. But, yeah, I mean, there might be a backlash. But like I've heard so many people say, and this is true, the worst thing that a film can be received is through just indifferent, through people not having one opinion or another and it getting just swept under.
Right.
The film will elicit strong emotions, positive and negative. So I got to be doing something right if I'm making that happen. That's the way that I figure it. You know?
Definitely. Good and bad, it's an opinion. You know they saw the movie, and that's what counts.
Right. And people need to recognize that truly, making any feature film really is a miracle. I'm just telling you, especially on the independent level. We had to go through so many hoops, we had to dodge so many bullets, so many this and that. And, you know, for an independent feature film to be made with the caliber of actors that we got in this and the kind of production value and all of that, it's almost unheard of. It's extremely hard to do. It really is. So I really hope that people who even don't maybe like the film, they'll at least appreciate and respect that, because in this day and age and all of that, it is very, very hard to make any feature film. Seriously.
Yeah, I believe it, and especially when it comes down to money. And I see so many Kickstarter and Indiegogo projects for different films. It's unbelievable. There's just so many coming through my timeline all the time, and a lot of them look amazing, and some of them I may not be interested in, but that's how people are going the route these days to get their money.
Of course. You know, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very popular now, and some do happen, but a lot fall through and can't get the funding that they need to make it. So it's a shame, but that's the business. It's tough.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you guys have a screening coming up, and I think you told me it was on the 20th of October in L.A.?
No, it's actually the 16th. It's a cast crew screening, but we're a few other people are coming as well. I'm really excited about it. Maria helped organize it, and it's going to be great. I mean, I have so many colleagues and obviously the cast and everything that are just dying to see it, and I'm really excited to show them what this is. They're really going to be proud of it, proud of the work that was put into it, and I really feel like this film's going to go somewhere. I mean, we already have several distributors very interested and all of that already. And the film hasn't even gotten into, we haven't even heard from any film festivals yet. So they're already interested. And think about when it gets into film festivals and all that, the buzz will explode even more. So, it's great.
So you have submitted it then to film festivals already?
I have submitted it. I have not heard. I start to hear back from film festivals starting in like November, December-ish. Towards the end of the year, I start to hear back from them. Because it takes, you send it, and then you have to wait a few months and all of that. But I start to hear from some by the end of this year. So fingers crossed on that.
Well, definitely. I don't have no doubt in my mind that you'll be hearing back from at least some of them. David, I've been talking this whole time. I know you had a question. What was your question for Michael?
Oh, I said, actually, this is for all of you.
Okay.
But outside
Although
of
there's
family,
only two of you left.
Right. Outside of family, who have been your biggest supporters of your careers?
Oh. Our biggest supporters, gosh, I feel like our closest, for me, it was just all of my friends who were kind of surprised, including Pam. Anyone who found out that I was now involved in a project like this, I feel like everyone has been really supportive, mostly our friends, and even when we go to events and people find out exactly, for example, for me, when they find out it's my first film project, they're really interested in like, how did this happen? How did you end up? And why haven't you been doing anything before this? Like, you live here, and it's just kind of all around you. And I feel like when people find out, they just want to see what you've done and how you've pulled it off. And for Mike, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been your biggest supporter.
Yeah.